Welcome back to the channel, guys. Oh my goodness. I am so excited to dive in today because I am telling you, what went down yesterday in the emergency meeting was actually a PR move and had nothing to do with legal. Like, I guess they get the benefit of the legal side, but this was primarily a PR move. I will die on this hill, and I am going to show you. As soon as I heard that she got it delayed, I remembered something from Emily D. Baker. So we're going to play a clip from Emily. I didn't even know where to start today. We have Radar Online. We have Daily Mail UK. We have so much momentum that's being built for Justin Baldoni and the content creators. I'm really excited about it. We have to keep this momentum going. We really have to stay on legacy media to cover this and on an Instagram live. So if you're not following me on Instagram, I'll drop my Instagram because I have an Instagram live over there. Maybe I'll download it, upload it to YouTube as well. But on there near the end, I have some tips on how we can continue pushing this in legacy media because we want to use this momentum that we've built. Hello, guys. It's so nice to see you. Yes, I am sorry I'm late. I am currently working within the branding and marketing field. And so I have clients and I'm not going to be like, pardon me, we're a couple minutes over. So you got to go. No, I'm not an asshole like that. So if client calls go a little bit long or a client comes in a panic and they're branding or marketing or they're launching something, sometimes I am just late. But welcome, everyone. It's so nice to see you guys in the chat. Yes, thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. You won't regret it. I hope you won't regret it. New subscriber here. Welcome. Thank you for all you do. Well, thank you for being here. Couldn't do it without you guys. Honestly, I couldn't do it without you guys. Okay, so we are going to... Alien rocker goddess. I love. Oh, I have my bow to no one shirt. Like, if this isn't so applicable, it's part of my summer branding anyway. So if you couldn't tell, it's very like rocker vibes, everything I wear in my brand because I am in branding and marketing. So this stuff matters to me. Oh, 1 second, guys. My blanket's stuck. I always have to have a blanket on me as well. But bow to no one felt very appropriate for today. Hello, guys. Okay, let's start here. Let's start here. I want to go over first the positive coverage we've got because I think we all need a win. We all need a positive. And then let's go over to Emily D. Baker, Molly McPherson, and then we'll go over to what I'm seeing in SEO, which is search engine optimization. So again, guys, welcome if you're new. My name is Ashley Brianna Eve. So I have over 15 years of experience in branding and marketing. That's currently what I do for work. And I have a full client load for that. So I do full-time branding and marketing for personal brands. And what I used to do on this channel was more teach branding and marketing with a pop culture flair. And then at the end of 2024, I switched over more to heavy pop culture with a branding and marketing flair. And it tends to get people more interested in learning about PR, media manipulation, narrative control. So it doesn't only benefit those that want to build their brand, but I feel the benefit of the channel is even if you're not trying to build a brand, you understand what's going on behind the headlines. And to me, that's important. Doesn't mean, that you can't still like your favorite celebrities. You just understand what's going on. But we'll start here. Exclusive. This was Daily Mail UK. Such a good article, guys. We need more of this. Make sure to click, support them. It is behind a paywall. Maybe even just sign up for a 30-day free Daily Mail subscription, cancel, put an alarm in your phone, cancel after 30 days. When legacy media sees that it benefits them to post on something, they're going to continue because clicks equal money for them. Like and subscribe. Yes. Oh my goodness. Did I miss the Bushbirds? Hello. If you guys are in the chat, love your channel. Yesterday, I had such a long day on client calls. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys a funny story first. Too bad if you don't want to hear it. Just zoom, as Emily D. Baker would say, if watched on the replay. But I had such a long day of client calls yesterday. It was just a stressful day overall, trying to deal with the lawsuit because I am one of those 16 creators. So we're still trying to figure out what's going on. Blake's lawyers are still giving us a runaround, surprise, surprise, and securing lawyers, trying to get back to lawyers. Like, everything is really stressful. Yesterday, Leanne, who is obviously a very good friend of mine, friend of the channel, she was she really took over the reins, guys. I can't even say that she helped. She took over the reins of my motion to quash because we wanted to get that out. Because there is still, believe it or not, confusion over the deadline either being the 16th or the 31st. Crazy. No one is really, Google says the 31st. Blake's team says to check with Google. It's just ridiculous. But the actual subpoenas say the 16th. So we wanted to get that out. So yesterday was just a mess. I also run a farm animal sanctuary at the farm. That was my dream. I've always worked my butt off in my business not to travel, not to have fancy things, not to have a fancy car, not to necessarily have a fancy house. I mean, we still have to fix the back room because we've had so many emergencies with our farm animal sanctuary. We still have to fix the back room. None of that was why I do what I do and why I work so hard. It was always to be able to get a farm animal sanctuary and help animals. So on top of all of this, we've had a medical emergency with one of our rescue horses that started, I think, was Saturday morning. Yesterday, we had the emergency vets out. It's just been a lot the last week. And so yesterday, anyway, the reason why this is all relevant is I get off my busy day and I'm streaming Bushbirds, their newest episode. And then, so it helped me calm down. And then later at night, Leanne, I'm going to tell you guys, it's so funny. But later at night, Leanne sends me my motion to quash to go over. And she's like, okay, read it. And then you have to sign it. And I couldn't figure out how to sign it online. And I didn't want to print off all the papers. And so I'm trying to sign it online. And it looked like, I told her in the group chat, I was like, it looks like Shrek signed my name with crayons. But what you guys don't realize is as I'm sending that, I am like, have you ever been in a situation where you're not crying, but you're like so overwhelmed you're crying? And so I start laughing hysterically. My husband's sitting next to me. I start laughing hysterically and I start crying. He goes, are you crying or laughing? And I'm like, I'm laughing. I'm crying. And I'm like, I can't get this to work. I look like Shrek. And he's like, okay, Ash, okay. Hand this over to me. It's going to be okay. I go into the chat and I'm trying to tell Leanne that I can't figure it out. That's turning into like Shrek wrote it. But then I start accidentally hitting different emojis. So now I'm sending like mouse emojis into the chat. It was just a whole thing last night. But anyway, the reason why I share that story is originally after a long day. Yeah, I love the Bushbirds. They helped me calm down. I went to their channel. They have such a chill vibe. Helped me calm down, scrolled their Instagram, watched some funny videos. I was laughing, but then later I was laughing, crying, and Leanne talked me off the ledge. And then my husband helped me figure out how to sign it. But yeah, it's just been a lot the last few days. But seeing this and seeing legacy media start to pick it up has made me feel a lot better, because what I've said all along is I really believe that Blake Lively, or a reason why Blake Lively is going after smaller content creators, is she has the potential, and I said the potential, to control the narrative a lot better. When she went after Candace especially, it hit legacy media. Legacy media was picking it up. When she went after the content creators, it was crickets at first. And I said she has a lot more potential to control the narrative potential if it's smaller content creators, and only kind of come out with this if she finds something, which she won't. She's not going to find anything. As Radar Online quoted me, you ain't going to find shit in my bank account, Blake. I almost died. Everyone was sending me that in my email. But that was what I was saying, because legacy media, even though social media is really picking up, overall, it still inches out social media. And I talked about this on Instagram. We'll talk about it here as well, why that is. And if you're building a brand, this is important to know. So you're going to want to pay attention when I get to that. But Blake Lively branded a toxic diva as experts dissect her latest catastrophic legal move against Justin Baldoni. This picked me up. This was the pickup I needed. Blake Lively's decision to subpoena more than a dozen journalists and small creators has ignited a free speech firestorm. And now, crisis PR expert Eric Schleifer, I apologize if I said your name wrong and pronounced it wrong, says the move could leave lasting damage to both her brand and her public image. Dragging micro creators into your court over chit chat is nuclear overkill that screams bully, not brilliance. I think Blake thought it was like a brilliant move. She's like, oh, they're not going to know. No one's going to know. Going to do this under the surface, get their bank account numbers, subpoena their bank accounts. Oh, I'm so clever. And I should add Ryan Reynolds into that too. He's really skirting through this as like not really getting his name dragged in. When you demand IP addresses and PayPal receipts from hobby bloggers who risk being seen mugging the First Amendment in broad daylight. The subpoenas, which target creators with modest followings and include requests for personal information and financial records. My thought of this, because she's not necessarily going for our Google Drive folder. She's not going for our emails. Her lawyers have confirmed that. They are not going for our emails. They're not going for our Google Drive folder, which in theory she could try. She's not going for either of those. My theory is this. She is doing this to get our bank account information, because to subpoena a bank account, you need the bank account information. You need the bank account number, you need the address, and the real name of the person. My theory is she wants to go for the bank account. There might be more to it, but that's what I feel. So he's saying, this can trigger backlash online, spark concerns about celebrity overreach. And I agree, because she's going after modest followings. Some of them have bigger ones. It's rumored, I don't know if she's confirmed, it's rumored that Candace is included in the Google one. When we receive our subpoena, everyone else's name is redacted. So unless Candace comes out and confirms it, it's just speculation. Blake's subpoena blitz paints her with some as a toxic diva mugging creators, Schiffer says. Watching a Hollywood millionaire trigger a subpoena bloodbath against hobby bloggers will flip some fans' love into loathing. And I agree. People that might be on the fence with this, if legacy media can help us out and get the story out there more, it can absolutely flip the narrative, because it starts to be relevant to you, right? There is a lot of shady shit that's happened in this lawsuit, but most people originally, and this is why originally I thought her team was doing pretty good in some respects. Originally, people were saying, in the comment sections were saying, oh, it's just rich people fighting. Like, can't they just get over it and move on? Because they're really not picking up the nuances of things like Van Zandt and the sketchiness of the Van Zandt lawsuit. This relates directly to people, because everyone starts to say, that could be me. Because Blake isn't just going, you guys have to keep this in mind. She responded to someone's lawyer. I'm not going to share the screenshot because it wasn't me that she responded to. So it's not my place to show the exact screenshot. She responded to someone's lawyer saying, essentially, we're going after them because we believe they were involved in a smear campaign with Wayfair. And number two, so they're creating content around it and engaging in content around it. So now you're not even safe, my friends. She's not going after you right now, but you're not even safe because she's targeting people that are engaging in content against her. So where my concern is as well is, where does this end? Do you start noticing the same names coming up in different chats, making different comments on X, on Instagram, and you start targeting them? This is a problem. So the article in the Daily Mail UK says Lively's wholesome, approachable. I don't know if it was ever wholesome. It's been used a few times, that word, and I don't know. Lively's wholesome, approachable. She's tried, I should say. She's tried to be wholesome with her and Ryan and the banter back and forth. Approachable public image as one half of Hollywood's favorite power couple alongside her husband Ryan Reynolds may also be at risk. Disney-grade, you guys have to pay attention to this. Disney-grade charm mutates into a mutant privacy predator the instant she subpoenas creators' data and drenches Blake's rom-com glow in legal napalm, he says. This subpoena spree risks turning America's sweetheart into Big Brother Blake. Accented by air-striking ants, many fans don't sip that Kool-Aid. Hauling a channel with 38 subscribers in a federal court is the PR equivalent of clubbing baby seals for sport. Guys, this is a big deal for a big platform like Daily Mail to equate Blake and her moves to clubbing baby seals for sport. And why I love that so much is when we look at branding, marketing, and PR, you want to evict emotions. You want someone feeling something. Who doesn't feel something when you think about baby seals? And it makes me so upset, and it's such a disgrace on Canada. Who doesn't feel something in their core when an innocent baby seal is hunted down on the ice and clubbed? Everyone. I don't care who you are, unless you're a Blake bot. I don't care who you are. Everyone feels something when you think of baby seals being hunted down on the ice, which is what happened. They're defenseless. They're hunted down on the ice and they're killed essentially for sport. This badass just not only says that she's mutating from Disney charm to privacy predator, and then calls her big brother Blake, which I think is hilarious, but says that this PR move is equivalent of clubbing baby seals for sport. But this is also why we need to get this out more in legacy media. All right, they continue. While the legal maneuver may be rooted in concerns about misinformation or reputation protection, Schieffer says the strategy could backfire by triggering a viral David versus Goliath narrative. You don't sue low subscriber fleas with flamethrowers unless you crave a David versus Goliath backlash or you are absolutely sure you have the goods, which she doesn't. I can assure you guys, I was joking about this on Instagram Live this morning. I said, I thought Wayfair Studios was Wayfair, the sketchy furniture company. When this all went down, and I don't mean that with any disrespect to Justin. I had no clue who Justin Baldoni was. He could have bumped into me on the street and he would have been no different than any other stranger. Never knew of Jane the Virgin. Didn't even know that was a TV show. Never heard of him. Never heard of Steve Zarwitz, any of these people. And I genuinely was confused in the beginning that Blake was suing Wayfair for SH. I was like, damn it, there's a lot of controversy around this furniture company because they've also been accused of like exploitation for kids, which I think is just like a rumor going around. Don't sue me next, Wayfair furniture. But I genuinely was so confused. I couldn't figure it out. That's how confused I was. But apparently I was being paid as far back as March or May 2024 to smear Blake Lively. But if I look at all my content, I start talking about her about December 28th. It was around the holidays. I took time off of work, took time off of clients. I think I actually fired most of my clients at the end of 2024. I was just so done. So I had free time. Thank you so much for the support. Loving your look, Ashley. Give me Gem and the hologram vibes. I love that. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the support, guys. The support is so helpful with not just the bills. If we do have to go to litigation, we've been quoted up to like 150,000 plus. I think that's just for one person. It's just wild. Right now, it's just consulting that I'm doing with lawyers to know what my rights are, especially being Canadian. I don't know. So wild. Thank you so much. Oh, it's so nice to see you in the chat. I can't imagine a high quality director producer wanting to work with them in the future. Way too much risk. I agree. 100% agree. So apparently I was being paid, but the only people I knew from this whole story was really Ryan Reynolds. And I saw the shark movie with Blake. That's it. I said this on the channel for a long time. I thought Gossip Girl and Gilmore Girls were the same thing. So I was like watching Buffy and Angel and House, which I am rewatching right now. And Dexter. That was something else I was watching. Like, if you look at my genre of shows I was watching and like The Walking Dead, I know it's hard to imagine. I wasn't watching whatever, not Gilmore Girl, Gossip Girl. I don't even understand. I don't even know what the XO Gossip Girl means that people are talking about. Someone said that Kristen Bell is the voice in Gossip Girl. There was a voice in Gossip Girl. I didn't even know that. I love Kristen Bell. But anyway, I had no dog in this fight. I was taking time off around Christmas. And then for those that were here in January, Blake, you would know this. My dog got very sick. My like heart dog, my Husky Alaska got very sick. And he went into critical care mid-January. And we were in like a 2-week critical care window. And then he came home. He was out of the woods, we were told. And he died of a blood clot in my room. Like we were getting ready. I was just putting breakfast dishes away to take them for their morning walk on a Sunday. And so like I wasn't selling packages. I wasn't working with my clients at that point in time. So I had extra time. So I was talking about this. And I don't like bullies. I hate bullies. And I thought my knowledge in branding and marketing would help people. Anyway, so according to Schieffer, I am so sorry, my friend. I am not trying to be an asshole with names. The long-term risk isn't just bad headlines. It's locking in an unflattering narrative. Yes, Baldoni didn't need a counter campaign with this tactic. Agreed. Blake's attorneys handed him the slingshot. Blake's protective order win. Yeah, and I agree with this. Blake's protective order win rings hollow when she's busy rifling through strangers' Gmail. And I agree. And this is a problem. And we're going to talk about this today. This is the problem she's having because she was winning the narrative on Google and with legacy media because they were talking about her big win. And it was starting to get taken over by Jed being dismissed, by content creators. It was starting to gain momentum. So yeah, she had an emergency, but it wasn't a legal emergency, in my opinion. He says, over-controlling celebs can take their brands into a death spiral when trying to muzzle critics as it can cement a stone-cold crazy narrative that sticks. If Lively hopes to regain control of the narrative, Schiffer said she needs to act fast and avoid appearing defensive or evasive. His recommendation, drop a surgical 2-line holding blast. These subpoenas are evidentiary, not a witch hunt. Blake 100% backs free speech. That helps plug the news vacuum before it turns radioactive. Remaining silent, he said, would be a critical error. I agree. Silence is catastrophic. It lets YouTube lawyers draft the script and tattoo bully across Blake's brand. And YouTube lawyers might still be working in the background. I'm holding hope that they're going to support us when they see we all stand up against this. Stay mute and you trigger the full Streisand avalanche, which is mean you just bring more attention to yourself rather than less. Jason Mudd, CEO, partnering manager at Axia Public Relations, pointed out that the subpoena sent a chilling message. Dissent will be met with legal intimidation. Even if legally permissible, the optics are poor. It appears like a power play, not a fact-finding measure. This approach may erode goodwill and invite scrutiny about intent. Was the goal justice or silence, he adds. Public figures already operate under a microscope. Targeting micro-influencers, including those with limited followers, might appear excessive, possibly punitive. If the subpoenas appear more about optics control than substantive legal merit, the court of public opinion will be less forgiving. I agree. The only thing I would say is I'll give a different what my suggestion to Blake would be. Where is it? I would just say a little bit different. This would be my advice to Blake because remember, she just went on this Seth Meyers fear is by design. It keeps women silent, right? And she's had all this talk about being a voice for women. This is what I would recommend, although she won't do it, but this is what I would recommend. I would say I've committed in 2025 to being a voice for women. And the vast majority of those impacted by my subpoenas are women. I've listened to you and I hear you. And here's the thing, she can still kind of get a win here, right? PR. She can say, I've decided to drop the Google subpoena in favor of a sworn affidavit from the content creators saying that they haven't had any contact with Justin Baldoni's team and have not been paid. Here's the thing. She has the potential. We're going to know the truth. I know it's not going to change your mind. Don't worry. I know it's not going to change your mind. And she has the potential to come out looking like the good guy in this. The lawyers overstepped, but I hear you. And I don't want to put women through that. I know what it's like to be in fear, right? She can even play the card of like, I'm the victim, which is Blake's freaking card. I know what it's like to be in fear. So what I'm going to do instead is drop the subpoena and we're going to move forward with talking to the content creators about getting sworn affidavits. And I know people get so pissed. Hey, the day before I got an affidavit, the day before I had people in my comments being like, you're paid by Blake because you're telling all these good things for her to do. And then the next day I got a subpoena. So that would be my advice personally. I don't think where was it? Still good advice, but I don't think just saying like, it's evidentiary, it's not a fishing expedition. I don't think that's enough. I think what she needs to do is take responsibility for it, which is typically what you do with PR. Take responsibility, come back to you, and Molly talks about this, come back to your values. I do want to be a voice for women, and I've spoken out about that, and I stand behind my words. Fear is by design, and I don't want to be a part of the machine creating fear. Therefore, all I am seeking is an affidavit, and I will trust them because I believe that we need to trust women. She's not going to do it. Here's where I think she might do it. I think she might do it privately. I think there's still a door open for that. I'm not going to say why, because it's not my place, but there might be a door open for that still. And I think that would be the best thing for her to do. Would she make a public statement like I suggested? Probably not. But there is still a door open. She'll do the exact opposite since that's solid advice. True. Yeah. Right? And then stand by it. And here's the thing. When you're looking at, and Molly talks about this great too, like essentially what a crisis is a breach of trust. When your brand has breached trust, you want to take responsibility. Being silent, I agree with this article, is literally the worst thing you can do is be silent. But number two, the best thing she can do is stand by what she said. Stand by it. Show us. Spend the next 10 years proving that you want to be a voice to women. Spend the next 10 years at women's shelters and making amends for the shit you caused. Because I don't believe words are enough. Prove it to me. She can come out here. I've invited her multiple times on my videos. She can come out here and help shovel shit. And I don't mean that like in a mean way. Like we have a lot of chores to do on the farm. We have a lot of animals. She's always welcome here. I worked in women's shelters when I was a counselor. I can put her in touch with some people here. Okay, let's flip over to Radar Online. I have some extra time to hang out with you guys today. Scott took Daisy, we just adopted her. You know, it's kind of crazy the timing because I'm not going to lie. Would I have adopted an abused rescue from a local shelter after being subpoenaed in a federal court case? I probably would have been so wrapped up in this court case, I would not have even noticed she needed a home like ours. But, you know, we also have a rescue we adopted. But Scott took her to meet my in-laws today and to hang out and get out of the house. So we have some time to just hang out because I don't have to worry about days. Okay. This was Radar Online. I almost peed my pants laughing because this kept hitting my inbox, my Gmail. Exclusive. Blake Lively takes drastic step of subpoenaing digital influencers in Justin Baldoni case in a move labeled pure harassment and an attempt to silence them. So we won't go through the whole thing, but it's a great article, an attack on my privacy. So Kirsty Flaw, they talk about her. They bring up court of random opinions. So that is Lauren, of course, Without a Crystal Ball, Katie, and Ashley Brianna Eve are all speaking out about it, calling Lively's actions harassment. I don't know who the exclusive was with. So typically exclusive means someone spoke to them that's directly involved. I wasn't, but pretty cool that they mentioned me as well. So anyway, they go through and they talk about Flaw gained notoriety after the release of It Ends With Us when rumors of Lively being a mean girl were swirling. She shared a 2016 video where the interviewer said kind words about the actress's pregnancy, telling Lively, "Congrats on your little bump." The Gossip Girl alum shot back with plenty of snark. "Congratulations on your little bump," even though Flaw wasn't pregnant. This is war. Lauren, big fan of Lauren, love Lauren, court of random opinion. Make sure to give both, I think if you guys don't know them, I feel like everyone knows them, but if you don't, definitely go give them a follow. So they quote Lauren, "Blake Lively's law firm has finally confirmed the subpoena is real. Blake Lively is seeking information related to my Google account. This is 100% real. This is war." Oh, that's the damn movie title. The Shallows. Hitting out. Okay, that's actually so funny that they use that as the movie and not like Gossip Girls, because that's all I talk about is that freaking shark movie. "I will not willingly allow a self-proclaimed advocate for women and girls' safety to violate my privacy just because I do not believe her and I'm outspoken about it. I agree." Paid conspirators. So this is what I nearly died when this made its way. This is essentially what they're saying, that we are paid by the team and we're pushing a certain narrative. Thank you so much for the support. You're asking a lot of a narcissist. Yeah. Well, yes, exactly. And here's the thing, guys. When I give like that, my approach, what I would do, I'm not saying like I like her or, you know, I think she's a good person or anything. And even if she came out, even if today her lawyers got back to us and were like, "Yes, we will move forward with just a sworn affidavit," which is unlikely. But if they were, say they watch this and they're like, "Oh my God, Ashley is so intelligent and we're going to do that." They do take my branding advice a lot that I give here. But say they watch this. Like, that's a great idea. That's what we're going to do. It's not like I would believe her, right? Like, you have to back it up. Spend the next 10 years proving to me that you've actually changed. I forget what I was going to say there. Anyway. Oh, so they have confirmed this, that they believe that we are paid, and that's why they're coming for us. So Ashley Brianna Eve told followers that Lively's legal team was sure as shit not finding anything from my accounts. I thought that was hilarious that was a caption. I don't remember saying that, but obviously I did. People get screen grabs from my content all the time. Like, oh my God, did I actually say that? So YouTuber Eve clarified. A lot of people thought they got my name wrong. They've called everyone in the article by their last name. I think it just gets confusing. Eve, I guess, could be a first name too. YouTuber Eve clarified she had no involvement with Baldoni, contrary to online rumors. So as of July 14th, she hadn't received a subpoena. I must have had, I don't remember what date. I think they might have got that incorrect, unless I made a video before it. But anyway, they quote, I saw on Reddit someone say that they got our emails because, I saw on Reddit someone say they got our emails because Justin Baldoni turned over the proof and we're connected, and that's how Blake got our emails. No, she subpoenaed Google through our YouTube accounts. So in the subpoena, it has our handle on YouTube, which is true. There were rumors going around, and which is really irresponsible, by the way, guys, and definitely call people out if they say this shit. There's rumors going around that like Jed Wallace or Justin Baldoni's team turned over our names, and that's how they got this list. If there is a list, I don't know. I want my money then if I was on some list that was supposed to be getting paid. And it's bullshit. Her lawyers are lying that they want like our bank account information to see if we're getting paid through YouTube. Through what? Like a super chat from some account that's like, I love unicorns and ponies 7716251 XOXO. Like, how am I supposed to know that's Justin Baldoni's team? And I'm not risking my credibility and getting involved in a lawsuit over that. Like, are you kidding me? If I was getting billionaire money, guys, you would know, because I'd have a much larger ass farm animal sanctuary and I wouldn't still need to be fixing my back room at my house. And I would have known that I was getting subpoenaed because I would have been on the inside. Like, so ridiculous. But no, I was not on a list. They did not turn over a list. And if there is a list, I don't know that there is a list because I wasn't getting paid and I wasn't in contact with anyone. Eve went on to share her thoughts on why Lively might be targeting smaller content creators. And I did say this, and I still stand behind this. What we saw happen when she targeted Perez Hilton, Annie Singler, especially Candace Owens, is mainstream media blew up, especially around Candace. Google blew up in areas that the average non-pop culture person could find it, and in ways that could negatively impact Blake's narrative control. My thought process is that this is in fact, if it is in fact Blake's team, because at this point we still weren't sure because her team wouldn't tell us. Blake's team wouldn't even tell us. They were like, I don't know. You know as much as I do. I don't know. We're trying to figure it out. Lying assholes. My opinion. Targeting smaller creators, to me, gives them narrative control. And I've said that. If legacy media, and I think they're banking on legacy media not picking it up, if legacy media doesn't pick it up, she has a lot of narrative control around it. And I'll show you why when we get over to Google. She wrote in a post on X the same day, the subpoena content creators found out today that we were subpoenaed because Blake thinks we are paid co-conspirators. Not really surprised, figured that's what they were going for. And yeah, I still stand by that. And one user wrote, those content creators should file a class action lawsuit against Blake. This is pure harassment and attempt to silence them. Another added, Blake and Lively and Ryan Reynolds are behaving like regime dictators who think they own the internet and own people. They want full-blown censorship. And they link my video. But another great, great article. But I just want to really quick, we're going to get to Molly and we'll get to Molly and Emily in a second. But I want to show you guys because a lot of people, it's not you guys don't believe me. Some people don't. That's totally cool. I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. You don't have to believe me. But I just want to show you guys why front page is so critical. And if you have a personal brand, you got to pay attention. When you have under 3 seconds to hook someone and grab someone's attention. So when someone goes to, so that includes your website, my friends. It includes your landing pages. I was just working with clients this morning on landing pages. And I'm like, they're like, a lot of people land on my landing page for my program, but they're not converting. Yeah, they're not converting because I'm bored with, In the first 10 seconds, I don't know how it's relevant to me. So I'm clicking away. If you even have a website that takes too long to load, people click away. There is literally research showing that we have a shorter attention span than goldfish. All right. So when we, from that context, that you have about 3 seconds to get a click, I'm not telling you what to think, but I want you to think what you do if you have 3 seconds to grab someone's attention. Where is the most important real estate on Google? Here, right? That's why companies spend so much tracks. I don't know if you're talking about short attention spans, but yes. That's why it is so important and why people spend so much time, so much money and effort trying to figure out how to hack, even legitimately, SEO, search engine optimization. So you end up at the top. You're lucky if people go to page 2. Now, if people don't, and again, I'm just putting it out there because keep in mind, typically people that, yes, goldfish here. Typically people that go to Google, okay, I want you to take a step back. If you use YouTube as your main source of information, where do you go to search? Hey, CJ, it's so nice to see you. So if you use YouTube as your main source of information, where do you go to search for information or for updates? Probably YouTube, right? If you use TikTok as your main source of information, which maybe I'm too old because it's like I never even see anyone I follow on there. It's just it's wild. But if you use TikTok, you likely go to TikTok. You go to the app, right? If you use Instagram, you're likely going to log into Instagram and you're going to check out for your favorites or you're going to search hashtags. Losing my voice. Most people, sorry guys, we've had such bad wildfire smoke and it's my asthma and my throat are just bugging me. Most people that go to Google are going to Google because their first thought isn't to go to YouTube for their news. So when we're looking at what the prime real estate is and what matters the most, this does. This is called above the fold. Okay. Same thing. Pia, it's so nice to see you. Hello. Same thing. If you have a sales page or a website, you need to grab attention above the fold. Above the fold means I don't have to scroll. Now, if someone's looking for something specific, they will. And you'll get some people that will click through to page 2. But the best real estate you're going for is above the fold. And as soon as you need to get people clicking or scrolling, you automatically lose people. So this is, I love House and Dexter. I love people catching up and be like, yeah, those are my shows. This is prime real estate. That on top of the fact that most people, of course, there's outliers, guys. I love statistics. There's outliers. Most people are going to Google because they're not going to YouTube. So their first instinct within 3 seconds isn't then to click on short videos. Isn't then to click on videos. They're sticking to all. They're sticking to the front page, the majority. All right. So that's the most important thing when we're trying to understand the psychology of someone that's going to Google, which is the whole point of it, is understanding people's psychology, why this is so important. Okay. With that said, because that's going to come back, let's put a pin in that for a second. We're going to go over to, let's do Molly's video first. She is amazing. And she is in Crisis PR. All right. We're going to watch her video. She talks about, and I'll still stop so that I don't get flagged. But this is Molly McPherson on Instagram. She's she does similar to me. I'm talking about she does more just PR. I talk about branding and marketing.
There's someone out there who hates Blake Lively. And it's not the internet. It's not the public. And it's not content creators who share posts about Blake Lively. There's truly someone in Blake Lively's inner circle who wants to see her destroyed based on the advice that she's been given.
The comments are all saying it's Ryan Reynolds. Let me know in the comments here. Do you think it's Ryan Reynolds?
There's 3 reasons why issuing subpoenas against content creators is a strategic misstep of epic proportions, and what I would tell Blake Lively if I were giving her advice, which I guess I am. It's the 3 reasons why Blake's moves of late are bad. 1, issuing subpoenas. It fuels the fire instead of extinguishing it. We're in July. Skeletal newsrooms. People are not writing big flaming stories right now, big hit pieces. These stories aren't happening. Those stories are coming in September. Things are kind of dying down, but not on social media. Everybody's going to be talking about things on social media, including content creators who really don't take vacations. It took 2 weeks off, but I'm back now, and I'm telling you that this is a bad mistake. 2, it shifts the optics, but in the wrong way. This is backfiring publicly for her. Anytime you want to strategically muzzle someone, hurt someone, ostracize, exclude, any type of behavior that hurts someone else and it's public and your name is behind it is only going to hurt the brand.
And I agree with that. And that's why I think the thought process of her, and there's some people that have been subpoenaed thinking maybe she didn't realize Google would even notify us like this, where we wouldn't have a chance. Possible. And yes, thank you for adding this above the fold. Yes, originally referencing newspapers. Exactly. If the story was above the paper fold line where the bottom half of the front page is hidden underneath, it was more likely to be read. Exactly. And it's exact same thing with sales pages, exact same thing with Google. If things are above the fold, and it's more in, we're looking at like a sales page, guys. If you have a sales page, you need to grab attention. Why is it relevant? Right? But also you have 3 seconds. So when we're looking at Google, anything that's above the fold, you're going to scan quick in 3 seconds. You're probably going to pick something to click on.
There's no good that comes from it. And 3, it undermines trust with key stakeholders. Reputation management is all about trust. Crisis, the state of crisis, is when you've lost trust. You will continue to lose trust with any stakeholder you have left if you keep acting like a bully. I think the counsel she's getting is so wrong because the people who surround her are the wrong people.
Okay, so I love this. And for anyone that knows astrology, yeah, I don't know if I'd put a Virgo stellium with like a Nick Shapiro, but I think they don't even care. I think it's just they want to destroy everyone. But I love this point.
Hiring someone who worked for the CIA for 2 years with an operation mindset is not what she needs. She's with too many strategic people who want to out-strategize people. And the fact is, you cannot out-strategize the public.
And with social media, it just makes you look like a bully. 100%.
Happens that I got off a call with someone who's going through going through a crisis of the viral nature. And this is the advice that I gave them. It's leading by virtue.
Okay, so I forgot she made this point. Remember I just said, lead through this mess. Oh my God, the humidity is just killing me, guys. I'm sorry. At least I don't have it goes frizzy and then flat. At least I don't have a hair care line that I'm trying to sell you. Remember I said, I forgot she mentioned this piece. Lead with back up your words is basically what I was saying earlier. Like you said, you're a voice for women. You said that you care about women and that you want to help women, then back it up. Lead with that. So I forgot she mentioned this, and it's basically saying the same thing.
Find the natural virtues that you have. Is it resilience? Is it compassion? Allegedly. Is it honesty? Is it integrity? Is it mothering, caregiving? Whatever it is, show that, lean into that. People respond to that. Believe it or not, people want to get you through a crisis. Yes, the internet hates people and the algorithm is going to send all this hate your way. But truly, as much as you hate to be in the center of a crisis, people don't like sitting in a crisis long either. They don't feel good after a while. They want to get you through it, believe it or not. Blake Lively needs new crisis management support because they are not helping her, or someone on the inside is out to get her. So I don't want a subpoena because this is not an anti-Blake Lively post. This is an anti-Blake Lively crisis legal strategy post that Blake, you need new help. There's someone out there.
There's someone out there that hates Blake Lively. Okay, perfect. And then we're going to pull up Emily, because this is when Emily said this, I was like, I wonder what's going to come next, because it got me thinking. Because again, I don't have the legal brain, right? Like, I think about it from more PR. But when Emily said this, it got my wheels turning. And then everything happened yesterday. You're probably going to start being able to piece together where I'm going with this. So I will have to stop Emily quite frequently. I don't want a copyright strike.
But it's incredibly rare that people are getting paid to say something. They might benefit from saying it. It's just it's a wild thing. I don't think it's going to go well. Also, it's going to be a W for any of the content creators, because they're just going to turn it into content. So I said this from the beginning of the Lively Baldoni case. Both sides have gotten incredibly hyperbolic at this point, but it is clear that Baldoni's attorneys, the Baldoni Wayfair parties and their attorneys, understand the media and social media landscape much better.
I'm just going to pause there. And a lot of people have come for Brian Freeman. I think overall he did what he was hired to do, which was get back control of the narrative, both from like the understanding the PR piece and social media, as well as the law. So, that's all I'm going to say about that.
They have a much savvier understanding of how to navigate within the world of social media, online, and content creators. Lively's attorneys do not. Lively's attorneys do not know what social media is going to do.
Okay, that's the piece that has kept coming up in my mind. Lively's attorneys do not know what the internet or what social media is going to do. We'll come back to it.
It seems that they can't foresee that how this is going to go badly. And it seems that Lively's attorneys have tried to make a shift. Like, their initial filings were very standard kind of white shoe filings, like very like, we're fancy New York lawyers, like very proper filings. And then they tried to take the tactics of Brian Friedman, who's very much like, I know how to write things that people are going to talk about.
And this is the problem I find too with Blake. And I agree with Emily, as they tried to shift. And the problem is when you come across as a bully, or people are starting to see you as a bully, they're not laughing along with you at that point, right? Like, you can try to bring the perspective of Brian Freeman, but you've already lost people. They've already made up their mind. They already see you as a bully. So.
And I'm writing something that people are going to talk about and that everybody can read and understand. Brian Friedman wrote filings that you don't have to be a lawyer to understand his filings. He laid it all out in too much detail, in my opinion, but not for him and not for his client. Like, he had a goal, and the goal was that everyone can read it. You don't have to be a lawyer. You don't have to read between the lines. You don't have to do any of that. You can pick up that complaint and understand what they are telling you is their perspective. And he knew how that would be picked up and covered.
Guys, I will say in the chat, no creator hate. That is one thing I don't want in my chat. But I agree with her. Brian absolutely knows how to speak to the media, and he's so savvy, right? And this is something I talk about with my clients all the time when they're highly intelligent in their field and they sit across from me and they go like, my brand's not really landing. Well, yeah, because you're speaking industry jargon, you're speaking over people's heads. And so when you understand how to speak to the public and make them understand, it's more captivating. And you're going to be not just understanding their arguments on a deeper level, but you're going to be more engaged with what's happening. So I love how she breaks this down. So I do agree. Brian Freeman's writings absolutely are easy for even me to figure it out. And I don't know law.
Lively's attorneys are playing catch up in the online space. And
I don't know if anyone can feel where I'm going with this, but that is another piece that I was like, oh my gosh, what are they going to do?
They aren't as savvy in the online space. They might be incredibly smart lawyers. I don't doubt that they are. But being incredibly book smart and being incredibly legally smart and being able to cite all of the Supreme Court case law for the last 15 years by like name and key cite is not going to help if you understand legacy media but don't understand social media.
Same thing I say to my clients. You can be the smartest in your niche. You can be the best at what you do. But if you don't understand social media and how to connect with people, no one sees you. And then people can't buy into your brand if they don't see you.
Because it's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. So it's cases that are high profile play out now in multiple courts. And there is the very real possibility that you can win in the court of public opinion and lose in the court of law, or vice versa. And if you lose in the court of public opinion and win in the court of law, I don't know if that win is going to help you all that much, because the journey to get there is part of the case. And sometimes you're going to have to slug through like years of shit before you get to a win. And by the time the court of public opinion is already divided, not the law nerds, because we don't do that, but the time the court of public opinion is already divided, like, and they've picked sides, sometimes it doesn't matter to people what is shown in court.
Yeah. So, okay. When I saw Emily say that, I was like, I wonder what they're going to do, because they were starting to lose a little bit of the grip hold they had. And I think part of the problem with Blake as well is the way they go about social media is trying to attack accounts. Allegedly, Blake, allegedly, my opinion based on what I've experienced and seen. Don't send me a new subpoena, please. By the way, I'm in Canada. I don't know how I'm getting wrapped up into this, but what it appears is how they've tried to win over social media is hashtag suppression, trying to take down accounts, bot attacks, allegedly. Not saying it's 100% Blake, just seems like it. Because every time you launch a new PR campaign, I get attacked with hundreds of bots. Weird coincidence. But that seems to be how it's like bullying, control, shutting people up. And that's how they've dealt with social media. Whereas with legacy media, they've really leaned into it. And for the people that are only using Google for their news, you do have a certain control of the narrative. And she did in the beginning, to a certain respect, because you would even see on social media, a lot of the comments were like neutral, or like, I'm sick of hearing about this, or, it's just two rich people fighting and they just have to both go their separate ways. It's stupid. And that's like, now that's gone. Now it's just like, she's just being trashed constantly and fully in the comment section because of all the missteps that they've made. But I'm going to show you what happened. So let me pull up. Okay. I'm not saying there wasn't any legal benefit. Maybe she has no intention of ever showing up for a deposition. Who knows? Probably the case. But what was happening on social media was there was a huge flood of, especially yesterday, Jed Wallace being dismissed. There was starting to gain traction around the content creator subpoenas, and it wasn't fully favorable even under Blake Lively's name. So if we went to Google, and again, when I go to Google, it's because this is someone that's going to Google. You and I, you let me know if the way you go to find your favorite creators on YouTube is through Google. Like, you're the anomaly if you do. So when we're looking at, when I want to study and know what's going on with legacy media, I go to Google. And I'm kind of old, so I still just go to Google, honestly. But I'm using YouTube and stuff more now. But there was a flood of bad news for Blake. It was basically, it's actually starting to gain a little bit more traction, interestingly enough. Oh, look at it. This has changed since this morning. This is how fast the news cycle is. This morning when I came on, it was all Blake Lively's deposition pushed back. Blake Lively deposition postponed. Blake Lively's, no, that's a good one for us. Judge dismisses Blake Lively's case against social media guru Jed Wallace. Blake Lively's deposition pushed to July 31st after Jed Wallace is dismissed. That one's kind of like, I see you, TMZ. You're kind of walking the line there. I see you. But I think it's more because you're trying to encapsulate all of the keywords that are going on right now, which, whatever. Judge rules Blake Lively can choose deposition location. So this morning, first thing, anything that was in regard, like anything that was positive for Justin was gone. Oh my goodness, 307 likes and 860 live. Guys, that's not how we roll here. Show some love. You just have to hit like. Doesn't cost anything. There was just a flood of media that was positive for Blake around deposition being pushed back. How you know with Blake, allegedly, my opinion only. How you know for Blake that she is behind the push on something is people's usually leading the way, and people is usually the number one story. So again, remember, you got like 3 seconds to get someone to click. So when you have the number one spot like this, it's good real estate to have. Blake tends to go to People Magazine. I think she took that from her ex-friend Taylor Swift, because Taylor and Tree tend to use People as well. Tends to go to People Magazine to plant stories, to seed stories, allegedly. People are just catching subpoenas these days. So the fact that People was running with this, I don't know, just kind of sort of feels like it was a planted story to try and shift the narrative. But I actually love this, and I'm actually shocked that it's starting to. So Variety, what did Variety say? Variety's had some favorable stories, guys. We've covered Variety a few times where I'm like, this is positive for Justin. Thank you so much for the support, Glow. When she loses in courtroom, they'll say the jury was paid off. Exactly. Like they did with the JD case. 100%. I agree with you. 100%. So Variety had said Blake Lively suffers blow and smear campaign. Was that the same? Interesting. They changed the title. So this is interesting, actually, because this also happened with, was it Radar Online? I think it was Radar Online. They had to change the title, so it was less harsh towards Blake. I'm, again, not saying it did happen, but sometimes when this happens, the party reaches out and says, hey, you best be changing that or you'll hear from our legal department. Sometimes, allegedly. So that's interesting. So now there's 2 headlines that have been changed. So the first one, or one of them, is Judge dismisses Blake Lively's case against social media guru Jed Wallace. Blake Lively suffers blow and smear campaign against claim as judge dismisses case against Justin Baldoni social media guru Jed Wallace. So there is a way to figure out when someone's, the Wayback Machine, you can figure out all the changes on articles and updates. So in a federal lawsuit filed in December, Blake Lively claimed that a mysterious Texas-based social media guru ran an untraceable. It's untraceable, but she's apparently traced it. Smear campaign against her and traced it right to our YouTube channels. At the behest of Justin Baldoni, on Wednesday, a judge granted Jed Wallace's motion to dismiss himself as a defendant in the case. Judge Lyman made his ruling without prejudice, meaning Lively has until July 31st to amend the complaint or sue him in a different jurisdiction. I wonder if she'll sue him in a different jurisdiction. Lyman ruled that Lively did not prove her case, that New York is a proper venue for Wallace to be sued. I wonder if she'll switch it. Well, there you go. It's a positive article from Variety. We're gaining steam again, guys. Even from like 4 hours ago to now, we're gaining steam. Where else did we see this? Yahoo's trending. Blake Lively accused of being a bully by pro-Baldoni YouTubers after her latest shocking legal move. Okay, so what this tells me, guys, is that her trying to get back control of the narrative, because what it looked like from last night into this morning was a flood of content around her deposition being pushed back. And what happened was a lot of the other content was pushed down. And so what it looked like potentially her PR team had done, or what they decided to do, was try to get back control of the narrative by a big move. So potentially pushing back that deposition. And again, Blake, not saying this is what you did, just saying what it looks like by my industry experience and looking at the sequence of events. Someone in theory could make a big news, an emergency hearing in court, pushing it back 2 weeks to regain control of the narrative and stop the bad stories. And in theory, what that could do is also pull the attention of legacy media off of Jed Wallace being dismissed, because Jed Wallace was trending like hard. It was everywhere. Jed Wallace trending was everywhere under Blake's Google searches, which is bad for her. That means you lost control of the narrative. But it's interesting. So what I would say this tells me is people are actually, legacy media is interested in the other stories going on. Because while it temporarily changed and shifted the narrative, it's not sticking. Because we're still seeing Jed Wallace's name show up. Yahoo is hello, like the first one below. That's amazing. Let's see what's going on page 2. Yeah, it's really mixed now. So what I would say, my friends, is obviously legacy media. Yeah, see? So people had been talking. Blake Lively's lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, social media expert Jed Wallace, dismissed by judge. And then we look over here. People's now leading with the deposition pushback. What I would say is this is overall good news for Justin, for Wayfair, for Jed, for content creators, for the subpoenas that went out, because it's showing that like there's not a huge interest in that. Sure, it made ripples, it made some waves, but they're actually seeming to be interested in the stories around the content creators and the stories around Jed Wallace. So I assert like the same thing I said over on Instagram. Politely, don't be rude, don't put them down. Go to ChatGPT. ChatGPT can help with this. What this shows is there's an interest in our story. We can leverage this interest to get their attention back on what's happening with the content creators, back on what's happening with the bullying, back on what's happening with Google and the trying to get bank account information, this David versus Goliath fight. You can put together some kind emails and reach out. You're likely going to have more luck if you can find a person to reach out to at some of these platforms rather than like the tip line. If you can find a person, especially if you can find an email for someone that's been friendly to Justin's case, has been friendly to the opposing side, like versus legacy media tends to take Blake's side, send some polite emails, maybe some links to some content on what's going on. And encourage them. Say, people are looking for this to get out. This is not just relevant to people following the lawsuit, but it's relevant to anyone that has used Google, anyone that's used YouTube, anyone that's put their personal information into these platforms. It's relevant to. And I would send, and I'm going to be doing it today as well, send some emails out, polite emails. You can even, touch base with this person, or here's a couple of the creators that you can touch base with if you have any questions or want any exclusives. But that can be a way to keep this momentum going, because I'm telling you, Blake tried to stop the momentum. And again, there might have also been a legal reason, but between last night and this morning, she had a flood of news that pushed all of this down. She's trying to shift the narrative, allegedly, but people are interested in our story. So we just got to keep moving with this momentum. Because to see Yahoo, hi Tundi, hi buddy, to see Yahoo this high up, it shows people care. Shows legacy media cares. So that's what I would say is today, reach out with some kind emails. Hi, buddy. Were you napping? I don't even think you realized I wasn't upstairs, eh? Do you want to say hi? Oh, thank you for the kisses. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, sweetheart. Oh, thank you for the kisses. You're so sweet. You want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? No? Come here. Come here, Tundi. Come here. Say hi. Say hi. Oh, that's Tundra. That's Tundra. Good boy, Tundi. What a good boy. I'm almost done. Yeah. We'll hang out? Yeah, we'll hang out. What a good kid. Yeah, so that's what I would say. Keep the momentum going. We don't want to drop the ball now. Don't get discouraged now that she's kind of starting to have some wins in the media. Don't just get discouraged. She just gave them content with people. Yeah, she gives them content for sure. Raining subpoenas was hilarious on Bushbirds. Is that what they were talking about? Is that what they called it? Hello. Yeah, actually, why don't we pull that up? Why don't we wrap it up? Because I'm having a lot of fun bringing this up over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because I'm just an ass like that. Let's pull it up. Probably get my video taken down. But let's do it. Oh, I don't want to hear her talk the whole time. Where does she talk about it? Let's see if we can find it. Let's hear from Blake's own mouth. Good boy. I'm almost done, kiddo. All right. We don't need to listen to this whole thing.
The gin in the scene?
No.
Really?
No, it is.
Gotcha.
Okay? No, but it was Emily is a changed woman.
Do you in life have beef with ice?
No, I love ice.
Yeah.
I really
like ice too.
In my milk.
I think the first day I'm like, what?
So awkward.
Like nobody, because everybody can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can't get ahead of it.
All I'm doing is like thinking about Frozen. It's all I watch is kids movies. So like,
how are your kids? How is your
they're
family?
Good, thank you.
You have
don't want
4.
to talk about the ice business and Frozen.
So this was a big branding and marketing move she was making around this time. I don't know if she's just dropped it. It's similar to what Molly was saying, like, find something. Are you nurturing? And so she was really leaning into the branding of like, I'm a mom and my kids and I'm a mom. She's dropped that, but she was.
It's such a weird song at the beginning of Frozen. We are built. No, I'm not. Ice. Okay, nobody. It
is actually. I forgot when you said. I was assuming Let It Go. You forget there's other songs there, but you're right. The beginning is a lot about making ice.
Song.
Yeah.
What?
You're right. It's a weird.
So awkward.
My love. Oh, he's just a dream. I mean, like they're chaos. It's chaos at all times.
Do you feel as though he was more loving than your daughters were at that age?
One of my daughters has the same birthday as Napoleon.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find where.
Yeah, now I'm afraid to like.
Oh, and that was a lie, also, by the way.
Like, I don't know a lot about star signs. I heard someone said the other day that if your son texts you and says like, "Mom, I'm on a date. She's asking my star sign. What should I say?" And the mom texts back, "Run."
So is that why she's going for astrology accounts? She's got something against it, but also she has a lot of content. There's a lot of times her talking about her astrology. I don't understand why she can't just tell the truth. I don't understand. Like, you're going to get caught in lies. Just tell the damn truth, Blake.
That's a very good.
Now I'm afraid to like know too much about star signs. But yeah, I think there's something with birthdays. It's just the funny.
Oh, maybe that's what's getting people like on the list. She didn't want to know about her Virgo stellium. Maybe that's why everyone, like certain people are on the list. Now I'm just being a smartass.
Person in the world, but she will definitely like rule the world with authoritarian leadership.
Well, that's something to look forward to. I mean, it'd be fun to have one who's funny.
Yeah, it is nice though because they're honestly. I mean, it's no surprise. I've had like a pretty intense year and like.
So segue from I'm just like you, I'm a mom, to it's been an intense year. This must be where it starts.
They're just my lifeline. Like no matter what day I'm having, I have to be Disneyland every day for them. And so it's like, it's the best. I mean, it's chaos, but it's yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you mentioned you had an intense year. I'm maybe not as totally informed about it as other people. But
I'm thrilled you're not doing Weekend Update right now because you would be quite informed. So it's good. Yeah.
But
oh, Blakey, does it hurt your feelings that Weekend Update was taking shots at you? I thought that we're not supposed to sue over hurt feelings. Didn't your husband make fun of Justin for having hurt feelings over Nice Pool? Pretty sure pretty sure.
Were I to ask you about it, I imagine you're in a situation where you can't say much.
Yeah, I mean, what I can say without going too into it is that this year has been full of the highest highs and the lowest lows of my life. And I see so many women around afraid to speak, especially right now, afraid to share their experiences. And fear is by design. It's what keeps us silent. But I also acknowledge that many people don't have the opportunity.
And those aren't her words. A PR person gave them to her. I wonder if now they're like, damn it! We should have never had her say that. Doesn't this just give Blake a tip for the future? Shouldn't we just let her bury her grave? Like in terms of what I'm saying on my account, I mean, I'd still prefer her to offer me to just sign an affidavit than have to worry about her taking my bank account information. I'm not going to lie. I really don't want my bank account information at risk with this crazy person. My opinion only.
Is by design.
So let's just hear her again.
Life, and I see this year has been full of the highest highs and the lowest lows of my life. And I see so many women around afraid to speak, especially right now, afraid to share their experiences. And fear is by design. It's what keeps us silent. But
it's just so wild to me. And again, those aren't her words. Even her Instagram stories, all the written text on, and when she said, like, I'm more empowered than ever when she was on her victory tour of like to speak for women. That was all her PR too. It wasn't Blake writing that. It was pretty obvious it was a PR team that wrote that. But like, what is going on with the PR at Blake's camp? Pick something. You even look at her branding, and one day she's the every woman, then she's the ruler, then she's the innocent. Like, pick a brand and move forward with it. We've on this channel, we've talked about how in one branding, a month apart for Betty Boo's, she's got like the innocent vibe. I have a whole video on how it's branded innocent. The lighting, the colors, the smile, the camera angle, everything. And then less than a month later, she's doing the Betty Boo's for the same flavors, but from Gossip Girl and tapping into her Gossip Girl character. Completely different branding, completely different brand archetype, completely different colors, clothing, hair, camera, everything. When you start to do that, you have inconsistency within your brand, and then people are like, who are you? This is only a month apart.
I also acknowledge that many people don't have the opportunity to speak. So I do feel fortunate that I've been able to. And
so people don't, so like people with like 20 YouTube subscribers don't have the opportunity to speak, Blake? Thank you so much. Yes, please like and subscribe. It helps. Yeah, exactly. That is the best way to help all the content creators right now is like, subscribe, share links to the content. Leave a comment when the video is done. Pop back in, leave a comment. It can even just be like, hey, whatever. All that helps, and you don't have to do anything else. It's just wild to me, the hypocrisy. And again, it's not her. It's her PR. Whoever is her PR, whether it's still Nick. Let's see how many, she is like hemorrhaging followers. Let's see if I can pull up her Instagram. I don't know why Instagram's not loading for me. They probably shut down my Instagram now. Why is it not loading? So like it's 4 million plus, right? Like at the end of the day, it's 4 million plus. Oh, it's dropping still. So I think it was 4.4. She's now at 4.3 or 43.2. So it's 44 million. She's now at 43.2. She is hemorrhaging. How much is she? Let's just see. I'll pull up Social Blade so you can see how many followers she's hemorrhaging right now. But anyway, my point with this is either way, whether she's at 43 or 44 million, the point is that Blake Lively has a massive platform. She's right. She likely has a platform to use her voice in a way most people, the majority of people in this world, don't have an opportunity to. But she uses it to shut people up. Not to help people, to shut up small content creators. She is such a piece of work. So this is her account on Instagram. So Social Blade can give you the numbers for an account. So this is her Instagram going back June 18th. Look at this. Losing almost 6,000, 9,000, 7,000, 5,000, 5, 6,000, 6,000, 7,000, 5, like per day. In like the last 24 hours, almost 7,000. This is a sign for a normal human, a normal brand, that you are doing something very wrong. But no, not her team. They just go harder in the direction of hemorrhaging. Would August 2024, would that have been when the movie came out? See, I don't even know when the movie came out. I literally don't even know when the movie came out. So August 2024, someone help me in the comments. Is that when the movie came out? And then September 2024. What happened September 2024? See, I don't know because I wasn't following this in 2024. I don't know how I'm paid for something and part of a smear campaign to the point that Blake Lively deserves my personal details, my bank account information, my credit card information. I don't understand how I'm apparently so involved that I don't even know when this movie came out. I am not that good of an actress to pretend. I literally do not know when this movie came out. I do not know what happened September 2024. Is that when? Yeah, I don't even know. So she had a huge bump August 2024. Okay, so it was. When did It Ends With Us come out? August 9th. So then what happened in September? Because between August 9th, which would have been when she got that massive bump, because that's when the movie came out, which is interesting because here's the thing. A lot of people thought that she was helping the movie, but obviously the movie and the book community helped her. To me, this shows that people that were readers of the book or followers of Colleen Hoover gave her a bump on social media, brought her back from oblivion. Because look at this. She was like dropping into the pits of hell on her social media. She's going into the negatives. Like she was, this is bad. So it looks like It Ends With Us was positive press for her, not the other way around, Blake. Oh, maybe it was the little bump video. I wonder if I can find that out quick. She doesn't title her videos in a way that makes it really easy to find if you're looking for something specific. Yeah. So it looks like that started to catch on. You're right, guys. Oh, damn it. Sorry. Spelled your last name wrong. Yeah. So it looks like it was starting to catch on. So she got a bump on her social media because the movie came out and the fan base of It Ends With Us went over to her. And then you're right. You guys called it. Then the little bump video came out and it looks like that potentially, unless something else happened, is what dropped. So she tanked her own reputation by being an asshole. Wow. Well, there you go. And we're seeing it on Social Blade. Because I imagine it took some time to gain traction. Maybe it did happen overnight. I didn't even know about that video originally. So she got the bump from the movie. She got a bump. Congrats on your little bump on your Instagram, Blakey. Congrats on your little bump. You got a little bump, but man, it went back down quick. It might have just been like a big meal you ate, maybe a little bit of gas. I don't know. But anyway, the bump went down and she lost 187,000 followers. Being a mean person doesn't win. Hey, Blake. That's sad. No, I know, but I just mean like catching on in terms of like turning people on Blake, because it wasn't immediate. Like, I know it looks immediate. It was pretty fast, but it wasn't like, it was like a slow, steady decline between August and I'd say this is verging on October. Yeah, it's just before October. So this likely happened. I don't pay to be able to see the complete breakdown. I'm not paying to see the day-by-day breakdown for this. But I would say it was probably like late September. And then she had a little bit of an improvement. And then it's just been like in the pits. That's interesting though. It's going a little bit back up. I wonder why. From like not back up in terms of like, because she's still losing supporters, but not as much. Not as much. Look at that. July 1st, almost 19,500 subscribers lost, or followers or whatever on Instagram. All right, guys. Well, that's all I have for you. We went a lot longer than I expected today. So that's my advice, is just nice professional emails to some of the bigger magazines, legacy media, tag them and stuff. If someone like posts, say, a Radar Online article, share it in your Instagram stories as an example and tag Radar and like give them a shout out, right? Give them a shout out. Let people know. Let them know that it's going to pay for them to cover this, because at the end of the day, everything comes back to like, am I going to make money off of this at the end of the day? Let's just be honest. So they might get not necessarily a pay up front from Blake. Like, they're not gonna be like, here's $1 million. They get a lot of money for breaking a story. But if we can show them that there's money behind like actually supporting the truth, we can very likely start to take back control of the narrative, because what Google shows me is she tried, and I'm telling you, between last night and this morning, you could not find the information about the content creators or even Jed Wallace. It was difficult because she had flooded it so much to the point I was getting messages from people. But it's our story's starting to pick up steam again. So let's just follow that steam. Let's just keep going with it. But professional and kind. Let's not get into the mud like her side, right? No reason to be. Such an intense year, red carpets and award shows. For Blake, she's wild. Yeah, don't mess with the book fans. Exactly. All right, my friends, that's all I have for you guys today. You can even Google like Blake Lively content creators, and that will also hit the keywords to show you who's supporting the content creator, so you can grab some links. All right, with that, guys, I'm going to go hang out with my dogs. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.